My beloved child, open your heart and let my words settle gently within you, for I long to envelop you with a reassurance that transcends every moment of doubt, every shade of worry, and every fragment of fear. I see you in the quiet spaces of your life, in those instances where your faith is tested by the uncertainties of tomorrow. And it is in those moments I call you by name and affirm my presence. Do not allow discouragement to consume you, for I am the very breath that sustains you, the steady hand that guides you, and the vigilant watchman who never sleeps nor slumbers. Remember always that your life matters deeply to me, that I have woven you into the tapestry of creation with unimaginable care and love, and that your greatest purpose is far more glorious than you can fathom right now. Trust this unwavering truth and march boldly ahead, for I am the unbreakable foundation beneath your feet, anchoring you in lasting security. I am here, shining light into every shadow, and I refuse to let darkness or despair silence the hope I have planted in you. I know the longing in your heart, the restless yearning to be seen, to be recognized, and to be cherished. So let me fill you with the warmth of my everlasting devotion, for my love is constant and my commitment unshaken. Whenever you feel weary or lost, reach out to me in prayer or in the silent cry of your spirit, because I will always answer, I will always speak, and I will never withhold my kindness. Do not entertain the thought that you are alone, for you are eternally surrounded by my sheltering arms, and I will walk with you through every path, whether strewn with roses or strewn with thorns. Hold fast to this promise, and let your spirit rise on the wings of hope, ready to embrace the miracles I have set in motion. Remember that I delight in drawing near to you, and nothing, no broken dream, no lingering regret, no mountain of opposition, can separate you from my enduring affection. I have placed an undeniable calling upon your life, one that speaks of compassion, joy, and renewal, and I will see it come to fruition as you yield your heart into my care. Do not cower in the face of doubts that whisper, "You are not enough," for I declare with authority that you are chosen, equipped, and worthy of love. Keep your gaze on me, for I will reveal wonders that surpass your greatest expectations, and in my timing, every piece of your journey will align in perfect harmony. This is the day to stand confident, knowing that the future brims with possibilities and every challenge can be met with tenacious faith. You, my cherished creation, are of immeasurable worth, handpicked from the beginning to reflect the radiance of my glory. I formed you with deliberate intention, embedding hidden strengths and extraordinary gifts within the soil of your being, like seeds waiting for the right season to burst forth. Though there may be moments when you feel ordinary or unseen, allow my voice to drown out the false echoes of insignificance and grasp firmly the truth that you are a beacon of hope to the world around you. I have entrusted you with talents, experiences, and perspectives that nobody else possesses, and my divine design ensures your unique imprint will flourish. Treasure this identity, for your soul carries a special glow that is irreplaceable, and it delights me whenever you walk confidently in that truth. I see greatness in you, and I want you to see it too, to stand boldly and proclaim that you belong in my family, cherished for who you are rather than what you do. Do not minimize your gifts, nor underestimate the quiet power of your prayers, for the simplest gesture of kindness or single moment of sincere worship has the potential to shift the atmosphere around you. Just as a master craftsman tends to a precious jewel, carefully polishing and refining it until it gleams with brilliance, so do I shape your life experiences to bring out your inner beauty, resilience, and perseverance. Trust the process and trust my steadfast presence, because when you yield to me, even your scars become testimonies of redemption and hope. Stand in that promise and walk forward with the delight of one who knows they are deeply valued. I rejoice at every step you take toward me, like a father celebrating a child's first steps. My heart overflows whenever you come closer, seeking my counsel or simply resting in my embrace. Never doubt that your presence gives me joy. Your earnest desire to draw near stirs the heavens with celebration, and your faith, no matter how small it may feel, is enough to move mountains. Whenever you feel tempted to believe you're forgotten or overlooked by the world, remember that my eyes remain fixed on you, keenly aware of every breath you take, every tear you shed, and every triumph you cherish. Do not fear the opinions of others, nor the fleeting standards of society that shift like desert sands, for my approval is your anchor. Be emboldened by the knowledge that I formed you intentionally and love you unconditionally, guaranteeing that every piece of your journey matters. I know your heartache, those moments when your mind wanders into valleys of worry and you question whether relief will ever arrive. I see you standing at the crossroads of uncertainty, wrestling with doubt and hoping for a sign that everything will be okay. Hear my voice. Do not despair, for I am deeply acquainted with your burdens, your hidden battles, your sleepless nights, your anxious hours spent wondering if you have enough strength to endure. In your darkest hour, I remain the guiding light, a silent companion who never criticizes your tears, but stores them in my memory with loving compassion. I feel your loneliness, the haunting sense that no one truly understands, and I call you toward my heart, where perfect understanding and empathy reside. You may think, no one sees my silent struggles, or no one can comprehend the depth of my pain, yet I, who fashioned your very soul, am intimately aware of each fracture in your spirit. Do not carry the burden of your grief alone, for my arms are open wide, ready to cradle your weariness and lift you higher. I understand the pang of betrayal that cuts deep, the sting of an unexpected loss that leaves you reeling, and the heaviness that settles when your plans unravel like threads of fabric. Let your tears flow if they must, but let them flow into my safe hands, for there is healing in honest communion with me. Know that even when you stand in the chaos of life's storms, you are precious to me, and I will not allow despair to triumph. When disappointment knocks at the door of your heart, you may feel the urge to retreat or to question whether I still care, but I assure you that I never withdraw from you, even when answers seem slow in coming. My timing may puzzle you, as if I am not swift to rescue, yet I promise I am working behind the scenes in ways you cannot see. I am weaving together events, interactions, and lessons that will ultimately yield the most beautiful result, though it may differ from your initial expectation. Do not lose faith, for the seeds of hope I planted within you have the capacity to endure even the harshest conditions, and the buds of promise will eventually break through. Hold on to this bright expectancy, and keep your trust firmly anchored in my sovereignty. I am your shield, the impregnable barrier between you and the arrows of adversity that seek to wound your soul. I understand the menace of fear that tries to tighten its grip around your heart, but do not submit to it, for I have given you a spirit of courage and of power, not one of timidity. When storms gather overhead and thunder echoes around your life, envision me standing at your side, unwavering and resolute, providing shelter from the raging winds. Just as a mighty fortress defends its inhabitants from every assault, I surround you with a wall of divine protection, ensuring that nothing can tear you away from my love. So rest in that safe haven, and never doubt that I am fighting on your behalf. I am also your refuge, the still center in a spinning world of chaos, the place where you can run when burdens become too heavy. Picture yourself stepping into my presence, laying down the backpack of cares you have carried for so long, and finding peace within the fortress of my embrace. Even when the road ahead feels steep or uncharted, know that I go before you as a guiding pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. as I once did for my children in ages past. I remain the same yesterday, today, and forever, so when I say I will protect you, it is more than mere words. I carry out what I proclaim. Take heart, for my provisions are endless, and no obstacle is insurmountable in the shadow of my wings. Right now, as you read these words, I am busy opening doors that your eyes have not yet perceived, orchestrating relationships and opportunities that will arrive at the precise moment you need them. Think of how a gardener prunes a tree so that it grows more abundantly. Sometimes I allow seasons of waiting or difficulty so that your roots may deepen and your faith becomes unshakable. Though you may not understand my methods, trust my motive. Everything I do stems from my infinite love. Do not lose courage when the night seems long, for dawn is always coming. And with the morning light comes renewed mercies, fresh grace, and unfailing hope. Embrace the promise that there is nothing that can stand against you when I am for you. So I invite you, come to me in prayer and do it now without hesitation. For I cherish every single word you whisper, every fleeting thought that crosses your mind in silent plea. You do not need grand rituals or perfect phrases, only the authenticity of a heart that seeks my help, for I already understand the unspoken sighs and the deepest yearnings of your soul. Speak to me as you would a loving father, with honesty, vulnerability, and trust, confident that I hear every syllable. Remember, my beloved, I am not distant or apathetic. I am intimately engaged in your story, and I delight in conversing with you. Prayer is the lifeline that keeps us connected, an open channel where love, strength, and mercy flow uninterrupted. Do not fear that your troubles are too small or too repetitive, for I never tire of hearing your concerns, nor do I belittle your aches. Instead, I gather them as a precious offering, responding in ways that will ultimately serve your growth and my greater purpose. If you wonder whether I'm listening when you pray in the midst of heartbreak or confusion, know that my ear is always inclined toward your cries, and I respond with a compassion that defies understanding. Even if circumstances do not shift immediately, I am at work in your character, in your perspective, and in the unseen realms where faith battles despair. Trust that this dialogue between us brings power to your life, opening space for my spirit to move and reveal solutions that might otherwise remain hidden. Every day, even in the simplest routines, when you wake up, when you lay down, when you go about your duties, keep the conversation alive. Let your heart posture be one of constant communion, so that you are never disconnected from the flow of my grace and wisdom. Does it seem impossible to pray amid the noise of life? Let me guide you into pockets of stillness, be it in a quiet corner at home or in the hush of early morning, where you can hear my voice more clearly. Do not deprive yourself of this life-giving practice, for I long to pour out blessings, guidance, and comfort upon you. Breathe deeply, and remember that prayer is less about procedure and more about relationship. When you turn to me, you turn to boundless love. Though you face many struggles now, let your spirit lift its eyes to the horizon, because I have prepared a future for you that overflows with blessings. The present sufferings, though daunting, are not permanent fixtures in your life. They are but chapters in a grand story that culminates in hope, restoration, and victory. By trusting in my wisdom, you position yourself to receive miracles that might defy human logic. Miracles of healing, breakthroughs in relationships, unexpected resources, or even transformations of the heart you never imagined possible. I yearn for you to walk boldly into each new day with unwavering confidence, believing that my plans for you are always good, shaped to prosper you in body, mind, and spirit. Do not dwell on the regrets of yesterday, for they can become stumbling blocks to the joys of tomorrow. Instead, let each mistake become a stepping stone, teaching you lessons of humility, empathy, and discernment. This posture of openness to growth will create fertile soil for my blessings to take root. In my perfect timeline, the seeds of faith you sow now will yield an abundant harvest, and you will marvel at how intricately I have woven every thread of your journey together. Imagine the richness of a field bursting with golden wheat under the sun. That is how I envision your life flourishing when anchored in my promise. Keep your gaze set on the positive outcomes ahead, for the future is ripe with possibilities that I am eager to unleash. Let perseverance have its full effect in you, so that you become mature and complete, lacking nothing. This is not some hollow platitude. It is the very essence of my covenant. Though adversity may come in waves, I promise that each challenge can refine you like silver in the fire, removing impurities and fortifying your resilience. You are more capable than you believe, and through every hardship, you will see my faithfulness shining like a beacon, guiding you onward. Believe wholeheartedly that triumph is within your grasp, for you are never abandoned to face your battles alone. Unite your will with mine, and watch as my power turns your trials into testimonies. Stand on that certainty, and let it embolden you to step forward with conviction. I crafted you with an eternal love that remains unchanging through the turbulence of life, and I delight in reminding you just how cherished you are. From the dawn of your existence, I have watched you grow, celebrating each milestone, grieving alongside you in each setback, and never once have I ceased to adore the essence of who you are. No amount of success or failure can alter the steadfastness of my affection, for my love was never based on your achievements, but on my very nature, which is love itself. Do not shy away from letting that truth sink in deeply, for it can transform the way you see yourself and the way you interact with the world. I am not simply the God who loves from a distance. I am intimately involved in the tapestry of your daily life, weaving moments of grace into the fabric of your experiences. My love is not measured in small doses. It pours forth in a never-ending stream, ready to soothe the dryness of your soul. Each time you pause to reflect on that reality, my love's embrace grows more tangible, reminding you that you are worthy of every blessing I have stored up for you. Dare to believe that you are a treasured child in my kingdom, enveloped by a divine love that knows no boundaries or limits. Let this assurance be your stronghold, the place where doubts about your value or identity cannot survive. When you question whether you are lovable or deserving of compassion, rest assured that my love stands as a timeless testament to your worth. No mistakes, no heartbreaks, no regrets can diminish the radiance of who you are in my eyes. Embrace this truth fully and carry it into every relationship, every dream, every challenge, remembering that the one who formed you stands ready to fill every crack and crevice of your life with sustaining grace. If you ever feel unworthy, lift your chin, look to the heavens, and remember that my heart beats for you. This is the ultimate key to understanding your purpose and calling. You were created from love, for love, and to love. Ground yourself in this revelation, and let it light up your horizon with unshakable hope. Child, I do not turn a blind eye to the chaos that sometimes surrounds you, nor do I expect you to navigate this life without guidance. Look at the great heroes of faith throughout history and realize that each one of them faced tribulations that threatened to crush their spirits. Yet, in their perseverance and reliance on my help, they discovered the power of a faith that transcends human limitations. You too can hold fast to that same faith, calling upon my name in your darkest times and finding my light unstoppable, no matter how bleak the situation appears. Understand that I pour out strength not only in the miraculous moments, but also in the daily struggles, in the quiet perseverance that leads to victory over despair. I urge you, do not let the voices of defeat fill your mind with lies, telling you that you cannot overcome. Instead, come into my presence, Stand on my promises and remind yourself of my record of faithfulness throughout the generations. No matter how high the mountain or how deep the valley, I am the steady force that will never yield, never falter, never grow weary of rescuing you. Let each step you take be an act of trust, knowing that my power is made perfect in your weakness. The testimonies of those who have gone before you serve as signposts, pointing the way to a God who is unwavering in love and unstoppable in might. Let that knowledge keep you anchored and push you onward with renewed fervor and hope. When you feel your endurance running thin, recall that I am the wellspring of living water from which you can drink freely. Just as parched earth cries out for rain, your spirit calls out for my sustaining presence, which I give without reserve. Even in your most fragile moments, you are not defenseless, because my grace is a shield that protects, and my spirit is the counselor who guides you into all truth. Do not neglect the spiritual nourishment I offer, for without it, life's toils can overwhelm you. Instead, immerse yourself in my word, in communion with me, in the fellowship of those who lift you up in prayer, and watch as strength beyond your natural capacity fills you anew. Stand firm in this promise, for victory is certain when you walk hand in hand with me. In my kingdom, there is no such thing as insignificance, and your life is a critical thread in the grand tapestry of my plan for humanity. Your presence has the power to influence others, often in ways you will not fully comprehend this side of eternity. Let your speech be seasoned with grace, your actions be motivated by compassion, and your heart be open to the prompting of my spirit. I have placed you in spheres of influence, family, work, community, so that you might shine brightly with the light of my love, bearing witness to my goodness in the simplest of gestures. Do not underestimate the difference a kind word or a helpful deed can make, for the ripples of your faith-filled living extend far beyond what you see. When you choose to love, to forgive, to lift others up in prayer, you participate in my redemptive work, sowing seeds that produce a harvest of goodness. Be mindful that the world around you yearns for authenticity, for glimpses of hope that transcend shallow promises and fleeting highs. As you cling to me, let that hope radiate from within you, becoming a beacon to those who wander in darkness. I empower you to offer comfort, to proclaim truth, and to be an agent of reconciliation wherever conflict arises. All of heaven rejoices when even one heart turns toward me, and you play a part in that grand celebration each time you choose to reflect my character in word and deed. Your influence is magnified when rooted in humility, acknowledging that every good thing in you originates from my boundless love. Do not fear stepping out in faith, for I will supply what you need at the precise moment you need it. Whether you are called to encourage a friend, tend to a neighbor's need, or speak life into someone on the verge of despair, I will go before you, equipping you with wisdom, courage, and tenderness. Remember, you do not operate alone, for my spirit dwells in you, guiding you through every interaction. Embrace this role with joy and watch as your corner of the world grows brighter day by day. I have always found joy in reconciling what was broken, healing that which was wounded, and reviving dreams that once lay dormant. When you stare at the shattered pieces of your life or the fragments of relationships that seem irreparable, do not assume the story ends there. I am the master at breathing life into dry bones, the one who can restore even the most hopeless scenarios to a place of thriving. Yes, there may be wounds that have festered over time, but my desire is to pour the balm of Gilead over each one, to tenderly bind up your hurts, and to usher in a new season of wholeness and peace. Even if you cannot see the path to healing, trust in my capacity to make a way. In the same way that a shattered vase can be meticulously pieced back together by a skilled artisan, forming a masterpiece that bears both the memory of brokenness and the beauty of restoration, so can your life be renewed under my careful hand. Do not be ashamed of your scars. They testify to battles fought and survived, and I can transform them into marks of glory. Each time you submit to my healing touch, you experience my grace in deeper measure, discovering that my mercy triumphs over condemnation. Where bitterness once thrived, I can plant forgiveness. Where despair lingered, I can sow hope. Where regret festered, I can cultivate joy. Trust me to usher in a new dawn, no matter how black the night has been. Healing is often a journey rather than an instant fix, and patience with the process will bear sweet fruit in due time. I will not abandon you midway. I stand ready to bolster your resolve, assure you that every tear is noticed and every heartfelt prayer is heard. My kingdom is one of restoration, and you are never too broken to be restored. It is my delight to see my children walking upright, free from the chains of past traumas, stepping confidently into their destiny. Let this truth nourish your soul. Healing is coming, and it is nearer than you think. Turn your face toward the rising sun, for I promise you that the day of renewed strength is on the horizon. Think of your heart as a garden, with seeds of faith planted in its soil, needing proper nourishment to grow into full bloom. Water these seeds with trust and a willingness to obey my gentle instructions, and you will see them flourish even in seasons of trial. Do not be anxious if you cannot see visible growth immediately. Remember the mystery of how seeds sprout underground, invisible to the naked eye, yet fully alive in their progress. Likewise, I am nurturing you, working behind the scenes, ensuring that every experience, good or bad, serves to build your resilience. In due time, you will marvel at the vibrant display of spiritual fruit that emerges from your commitment to me. You may feel the desire to compare your growth with that of others, but I urge you, do not measure your worth by external standards. Just as every plant has its own pace and timing, so do you, guided by my unique plan for your life. I take joy in your progression and do not condemn you for any perceived delays or detours. Keep your eyes on me and refrain from letting jealousy or discouragement seep in. Let your heart remain soft, allowing my truth to permeate every corner of your being so that the weeds of bitterness and unbelief cannot take root. Rest in the knowledge that you are in my care, and I will see to it that you thrive. To cultivate this garden of your soul, be consistent in drawing near to my presence through prayer, worship, and meditating on my word. These practices enrich the soil of your heart and prevent spiritual drought. Though life may throw storms your way, remain confident that your divine gardener stands guard, ready to shield your tender sprouts from devastation. In time, you will witness abundant fruit, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control, reflecting my character within you. Believe that my hand is upon you, tending and shaping you into the masterpiece I envisioned from the beginning. Let this truth invigorate you each day, for a harvest awaits, and your patient faith will not be disappointed. Precious one, I see how you at times feel the weight of responsibility pressing down on you, as if you must carry the world's burdens on your shoulders. Do not assume that posture of self-sufficiency, because I am here, desiring to shoulder your heaviness and exchange it for my peace. This exchange requires an honest release of control, an act of faith that acknowledges my sovereignty over every facet of your existence. As you relinquish your anxieties to me, you open the door for my peace, a peace that surpasses human logic, to flood your heart and calm your troubled mind. Do not hesitate to cast your cares upon me, for I care for you, intimately and unceasingly. In moments when the enormity of your tasks makes you want to give up, remember that my grace is sufficient. Just as manna in the wilderness nourished the Israelites daily, So will my provision meet your needs one day at a time. Resist the urge to project too far into the future, worrying about hypothetical scenarios that may never come to pass. Instead, anchor yourself in the present, trusting that I am already in your tomorrow, preparing the path you will tread. By standing firm in the assurance that I orchestrate all things for your good, you allow my supernatural strength to flow freely into your life. Allow yourself to rest, not as a sign of laziness or defeat, but as an expression of trust in my ability to keep the universe in motion without your constant striving. In rest, your spirit rejuvenates, your mind clarifies, and you become more sensitive to my voice. I designed you with limitations, and ignoring them only leads to spiritual and emotional fatigue. So pause regularly, breathe deeply, and hand over the weight of your concerns to me. Watch as I transform your exhaustion into renewed energy and your confusion into clear vision. End every day with the confidence that I have not abandoned you to toil alone. I am actively involved, guiding and strengthening you in each moment. Let me speak to the hidden corners of your heart where dreams lie dormant, overshadowed by disappointment or deferred hope. Perhaps there is a longing you have nearly abandoned, a vision of something more beautiful and expansive than your present reality. I want you to dare to dream again, to resurrect those aspirations you buried in the harsh seasons of discouragement. You might fear the sting of hope deferred, but do not be afraid, for I breathe new life into the things you believed were lost. Trust that I have an appointed time for everything under heaven, and that includes the desires I placed in your heart from the beginning. Do not let fear of failure keep you from stepping out in faith, for I have never asked you to rely solely on your own capabilities. Instead, I invite you to lean on my omnipotence, my infinite resources, my endless creativity. Where your strength ends, mine begins, and it is in that sacred space that true miracles unfold. Reflect on the testimonies of those who overcame insurmountable odds through my divine intervention, and let their stories kindle fresh courage within your spirit. As you surrender these revived dreams into my hands, I will guide you step by step, opening doors of opportunity and connecting you with the right people at exactly the right time. Let your heart become a fertile field for divine possibility, where you eagerly anticipate the harvest of something marvelous. Even if the path toward fulfillment winds through obstacles and closed doors, keep pressing on, for I am the one who makes rivers flow in the desert. Watch how I can transform barren seasons into times of extraordinary growth, taking what appears to be a dead end and making it a launch pad for greater blessings. Keep your heart tender and your mind attentive, for I may answer in ways you least expect. Stay hopeful, dear one, and remember that every dream birthed in faith is met by my unwavering support. You may not always see the magnitude of the ripple effect your life can have, but let me assure you that no act of kindness or faith goes unnoticed. When you serve others with humility, when you step out of your comfort zone to demonstrate love, when you choose compassion over indifference, you align yourself with my heart and spark heavenly rejoicing. Even in the smallest acts, a kind word, a gentle smile, a prayer offered quietly, the seeds of transformation are sown. Whether you see immediate fruit or not, trust that I, the Lord of the harvest, am cultivating growth in those who receive your generosity. Sometimes you wonder if your voice matters in a noisy world, where attention is often captured by the loudest or the most sensational. Know this: I have given you a unique voice, tone, and narrative that can speak to certain hearts in a way that no one else can. Do not compare yourself to others. Do not be discouraged if your reach seems limited. A single flame can light many candles, and a single spark can start a blaze. I rejoice when your sphere of influence, no matter how small, is governed by love, for it reflects my own desire for my children to walk in unity and compassion. Recognize that each person you impact is infinitely valuable in my sight, and your willingness to care can forever alter their trajectory. Let your motivation be driven by a passion to glorify my name, rather than seeking personal accolades or recognition. When you serve out of sincere devotion, the fragrance of that service ascends to me like sweet incense, and I am well pleased. Resist the temptation to operate in your own strength, for it will only lead to frustration. Instead, lean into my wisdom and my Spirit's prompting, so that your actions resonate with divine purpose. Know that I treasure your willingness to serve, and in my kingdom's economy, you reap blessings immeasurable, peace, joy, and eternal fulfillment. Cling to that assurance, and watch as your life becomes a conduit of grace and healing to those around you. Turn your gaze to the beauty of forgiveness, which stands at the core of my message to humanity. I forgave you freely, wiping clean the record of your sins when you turned to me with a repentant heart. And I call you now to extend that same grace to others. Unforgiveness is a prison of your own making, trapping you in bitterness and resentment, blocking the flow of my blessings in your life. When you choose to forgive, you break the chains that hold you captive to past hurts, freeing yourself to walk in the fullness of my love. It is not always easy, but I promise you it is liberating in ways beyond your imagination. Think of forgiveness not as excusing the wrong or minimizing the pain, but as trusting me to be the righteous judge who sees all and who administers justice in due season. It is letting go of the heavy burden that weighs you down, surrendering it to me, and finding solace in my compassionate care. Recognize that I alone possess the wisdom to address every injustice, and I hold your tears in my hand, preparing restoration for every loss. When you cling to grudges, you hinder your own spiritual growth. But when you choose mercy, you open a door for healing to flow. This path toward reconciliation might take time, but my Spirit will guide you, granting you strength and clarity in each step. In forgiving others, you also learn to forgive yourself, for it is my desire that you live free from guilt and shame. I do not ask you to ignore your missteps, but rather to own them, repent, and move forward in the cleansing light of my grace. You must believe in the transformative power of forgiveness as it ushers in a profound sense of peace, humility, and empathy. Let each act of pardon deepen your understanding of the mercy I lavish upon you daily. Embrace this posture of grace and see how it influences your interactions with family, friends, and even strangers. As you extend the forgiveness you have received, you become a living testimony of my boundless love. I know there are days when you question your purpose, wondering if the path you tread makes any real impact on this vast and complicated world. But I assure you that I placed you here for such a time as this, with a calling that resonates through every choice you make and every breath you take. Sometimes, discovering that calling involves traversing winding roads of trial and error. But remember that I guide you with my rod and staff, nudging you toward the fields where you are meant to flourish. Whether your influence is felt in a small circle or on a broader stage, the sincerity with which you walk in my will is what truly matters. Do not belittle your gifts, talents, or character traits that I have carefully woven into your DNA. Each one serves a purpose, fitting together like the individual instruments of an orchestra, producing a symphony of grace and progress in my kingdom. When you align your passions with my directives, you unleash an unstoppable force for good that echoes throughout eternity. Take the time to listen to that still, small voice within, to observe the doors I open before you, and to courageously walk through them, trusting that I have gone ahead to prepare your steps. In seasons of confusion, recall that my thoughts are higher than your thoughts, and my ways are higher than your ways. Trust my perspective, and you will eventually see the masterpiece I am creating through your life. Allow my spirit to refine your character as you journey toward fulfilling your calling. There is no need to rush, no need to force results in your own strength. Instead, walk hand in hand with me, learning from the lessons embedded in each obstacle you face. You will find that with every test comes a testimony, and with every desert experience, a renewed appreciation for the oasis of my presence. Step by step, I am sculpting you into the best version of yourself, one who reflects my heart to a world starving for genuine love and hope. Let your identity be rooted in this truth. You are a beacon of my glory, commissioned to shine for as long as you draw breath. My beloved child, hear me when I say, do not fear tomorrow, for I hold it in my capable hands, and I hold you as well. Anxiety about the unknown can be paralyzing, yet I invite you to exchange that fear for a steady confidence grounded in my promises. Recall how I have led you through past struggles, how I have brought answers in unexpected ways, and how my grace has proven sufficient time and time again. Use these memories as the stepping stones to a faith that boldly proclaims, even if I cannot see the next step, I know the one who ordains my path. Stand tall in this knowledge, resisting the urge to let doubt overshadow the certainty of my abiding presence. Lean on me in times when confusion whirls around you like a tempest. I am the calm in the center of your storm, whispering words of assurance that no gust of wind nor wave of adversity can overthrow my plan. When your mind begins to race with scenarios of what might go wrong, pause and remember that I have a plan for your welfare, not for calamity, to give you a future and a hope. Keep my word close to your heart, for it serves as a lamp to your feet, guiding you safely through the darkness. My promises are steadfast anchors in a sea of change, so cling to them as though your life depends on it, because in truth, the quality of your life does hinge on trusting my faithfulness. Be mindful that the journey I have laid out for you is not intended to crush you, but to refine you, teaching you the depth of my love and the power of my provision. Trust that each detour, each lesson, each closed door is designed to steer you toward my best for you. Do not let the weight of the unknown suffocate the joy of the present moment, because even now, I am working out the details that will bless and uplift you. With every breath you take, my presence envelops you, saturating your surroundings with the fullness of my affection. Keep moving forward, dear one, for my hand is stretched out before you, ready to lead you into a tomorrow filled with hope. When the fires of trials burn fiercely, do not shrink back in terror, for I, your God, am a consuming fire of holiness, cleansing away impurity and fortifying your spirit for greater things. Indeed, trials can be uncomfortable, but they are not meant to destroy you. Rather, they refine your character, revealing the gold hidden within. Remember the 3 friends in the blazing furnace who emerged without even the smell of smoke, for I was with them in the flames. In the same way, I stand with you in your fiery ordeals, ensuring that you are not consumed by the flames of adversity. Let that truth sustain your courage, emboldening you to face life's challenges with steadfast conviction. Count it joy when your faith is tested, not because you relish pain, but because it forges perseverance, patience, and a deeper dependence on me. Each trial that you conquer with my help becomes a testament of my power, not merely your own fortitude. You become a witness to the world that I am the God who delivers, the God who strengthens, the God who carries his children through waters that threaten to overwhelm them. Make no mistake, you are not called to endure suffering alone or to pretend it does not hurt, but to invite me into your struggles, letting my presence transform hardship into holy ground. When you stand resilient after the storm, your testimony rings out with the sound of victory, inspiring others to seek me in their time of need. Let perseverance finish its work in you, that you may be mature and complete. Think of the potter who shapes clay on the wheel, applying pressure and heat to mold it into a masterpiece. I am the potter, and you are the clay, and my intention is to form you into a vessel capable of containing greater measures of my grace and glory. Though the wheel may spin swiftly, though the molding may cause discomfort, the end result is a creation of spectacular design, bearing the mark of the Maker's hands. Embrace this process, dear one, trusting that each trial you endure has a divine purpose in the grand tapestry of your existence. Remain hopeful, for I promise that you will emerge stronger, wiser, and more radiant in faith. I delight in your sincere praises, for worship unites our hearts in a sacred bond of unity. When your lips declare my goodness, when your spirit exults in my holiness, you invite my presence to permeate your surroundings, changing the atmosphere of both your heart and your circumstances. Worship is not reserved for music alone. It is an attitude of reverence that recognizes my lordship over all. Whether you raise your voice in a song, utter a simple "thank you," or stand in silent awe, genuine worship aligns your soul with the rhythm of heaven. Through worship, you shift your focus from the turbulence of life to the greatness of my power and love. Break free from the notion that worship must be polished or restricted to certain settings. I desire authenticity above all else, a heart that seeks me without pretense. Sometimes your most authentic worship occurs in moments of brokenness, when tears replace melody, when words fail, and only the longing of your heart remains. In those raw moments, I draw near, enveloping you in my compassion, lifting you with my comforting hand. Though your voice might quiver, your spirit resonates with truth, and that genuine adoration echoes in the halls of eternity. So never hesitate to offer your praise, regardless of how small or unrefined it may feel, because I treasure every heartfelt expression of your devotion. Remember, worship also extends to your daily actions, how you treat others, how you manage your resources, how you maintain integrity when no one else is watching. Each time you choose my ways over selfish ambitions, you exalt my name. Each time you choose mercy over judgment, you reverberate my character in a world sorely in need of grace. Let worship be a lifestyle that saturates everything you do, from the quiet moments of reflection to the bustling tasks of everyday living. As your heart remains tuned to me, your life becomes a testimony to my presence, drawing others into an awareness of my unending love. Stand in that truth, beloved, and let your every breath sing my praises. At this very moment, angels rejoice in heaven as your faith grows and your heart softens toward my word. I see the seeds of change taking root in your spirit, and I encourage you to nurture them daily by reflecting on my truths, meditating on my promises, and immersing yourself in the fellowship of those who likewise hunger for my presence. You are part of a great family of believers, a vast, worldwide community bound together by love for me, and you never need to walk this path alone. I have placed you within this fellowship so that you may give and receive support, learning collectively the depth and breadth of my ways. Take hold of the gifts I have placed inside you, and do not let fear keep you from sharing them with the community around you. In the give and take of communal life, you witness the richness of diversity, the powerful synergy that emerges when many hearts unite under one purpose. Do not fear that you have nothing to contribute. Your experiences, testimonies, and skills are invaluable, and when combined with those of others, they form a tapestry of ministry that touches countless lives. Encourage one another, pray for one another, and bear one another's burdens, for in doing so you reflect the essence of my kingdom, love expressed through selfless service. Yes, You may have been wounded by broken relationships or disappointed by those who professed faith but failed to demonstrate love. Still, I implore you not to abandon the gift of fellowship, for my church, though imperfect, is dear to me, and I am refining it to better mirror my heart. Seek out genuine connections, be patient with one another's flaws, and trust that I am weaving together a net of believers that reaches far and wide, gathering those who yearn for truth. United in purpose, you become a beacon of light that penetrates the darkest corners of society, illuminating hope where despair once reigned. Stand on that promise, dear one, and rejoice in the camaraderie I have given you. Here and now, let me declare my blessing over you, my cherished creation, for I desire that you walk with confidence and serenity in this life. I bless your mind, praying that my peace would guard your thoughts and that you would find clarity even amid life's swirling uncertainties. I bless your heart, that love would flow in and out unceasingly, knitting you together with the people you are called to impact. I bless your endeavors, the work of your hands, that it may prosper under my guidance and serve as a conduit of my generosity. I bless your relationships, that they may be marked by honesty, mutual encouragement, and a shared pursuit of truth. I am not a God who withholds goodness from his children. On the contrary, my storehouses of blessings are overflowing, and I distribute them freely to those who trust in my name. Look around you and see the myriad ways I have already demonstrated my favor. From the air that fills your lungs to the countless invisible mercies protecting you daily. Let gratitude spring forth naturally from your lips, for thanksgiving opens your eyes to even more expressions of my kindness. Whenever you feel doubt creeping in, recount the testimonies of how I have provided for you in the past. A grateful heart stands as a bulwark against the cynicism that robs you of joy. As you advance into tomorrow, remind yourself that you carry my blessing with you, a divine emblem that declares you are never abandoned, never overlooked, and never without hope. Let this security embolden you to dream bigger, love more profoundly, and serve with a willing spirit. For when you walk under the canopy of my favor, fear recedes, courage rises, and the miraculous becomes an ever-present possibility. You need only surrender to my will and follow my leading, assured that I orchestrate all things for your ultimate good. Embrace this blessing and go forth with the confidence that your life bears the imprint of my love and favor. My steadfast love never ceases, beloved, nor do my mercies have an expiration date. In a world that values performance and accomplishment, my love stands as an unearned gift, freely bestowed upon you because of who I am, not because of what you do. Reflect on the beauty of this truth. You cannot add to or diminish my love by your actions, because my love for you is rooted in the unchanging nature of my character. This divine constancy frees you from the burden of trying to earn my favor. Instead, rest in the knowledge that I see you, know you, and treasure you just as you are. While I call you to grow in holiness and to reflect my virtues, this journey is not fueled by fear of rejection, but by the joy of walking in step with me. My commands are not a checklist for you to labor over. They are pathways to freedom, designed to protect your heart from harm and to cultivate a life of abundance. Every step of obedience you take is a response to my boundless love, not a prerequisite for it. Therefore, do not allow guilt or condemnation to make you feel unworthy of my attention. Whenever you fall, repent quickly and turn back to me, for I am ever eager to hold you close again, showering you with the warmth of my acceptance. Let my unshakable love be a rock under your feet, providing a sense of security that no earthly situation can upend. When you feel the pull of anxiety, or when doubts barrage your mind, recall that my love endures through every trial. Remind yourself of those who have gone before you, whose stories testify that my love stands firm in the face of adversity, betrayal, and even death. May you be convinced that nothing can separate you from my love, whether it be hardship, distress, or any power in heaven or on earth. Rest in this divine assurance, and let my love catalyze an unstoppable faith, a joy that defies circumstances, and a peace that surpasses understanding. And now, as you move forward into the unfolding chapters of your life, let my blessing accompany every step. I bless your nights with sweet rest and divine insight that illuminates your dreams, revealing deeper glimpses of my heart for you. I bless your mornings with renewed strength, so that you may awaken with expectation, knowing that I have set wonders before you. I bless your interactions, that your words and deeds would reflect my compassion, drawing people nearer to my grace. I bless your mind to be attuned to wisdom, discernment, and an unwavering commitment to truth, guarding you from confusion and error. Never doubt that I am with you in all seasons, in joy and sorrow, in triumph and trial, in quiet solitude and public praise. My presence is a blanket of security around you, a fortress that no foe can penetrate. Should your path lead you through hills and valleys, recall that I walk beside you, never once relinquishing my hold on your hand. Expect the miraculous, for I am a God who delights in surprising my children with goodness. Expect transformation, for my power lives within you, enabling you to rise above every limitation. Expect fulfillment, for the seeds you have sown in faith will eventually bloom into a harvest of blessing. Go forth, my beloved, in the confidence that my word stands eternal and my promises cannot fail. Hold your head high, for I have claimed you as my own, and I will continue to work mightily in your life. Should shadows appear, my light is ready to dispel them. Should hardships persist, my grace is sufficient to sustain you. My invitation is for you to walk in peace, to remain anchored in hope, and to greet each new day as an opportunity to witness my faithfulness afresh. Let your heart rejoice, for I have declared good things over you, and the best is yet to come. Embrace the future with anticipation, beloved one, knowing I will complete what I have started in you. Conclude your day secure in the knowledge that I have blessed you and your family, that I have charted a path toward victory and entrusted you with the faith to conquer every hurdle. My love for you will never fade, and my promises for your future stand firm as pillars in a grand temple. Keep me close in your thoughts, for I delight in your attention, and know that every prayer uttered moves my heart in ways you cannot yet fathom. Arise tomorrow with fresh expectancy, believing wholeheartedly that you are guided by divine wisdom, shielded by heavenly protection, and invigorated by boundless love. My peace enfolds you even now, preparing your spirit for greater revelations and deeper intimacy with me. My child, step forward boldly, for I declare with unyielding certainty, the very best is yet to come.